Okay, bows and bow ties. Good morning. So, um, I don't know a whole lot about DJ Vlad. I've just recently heard of him maybe like a couple years ago. I don't remember, maybe 3 years. I don't know. I don't really follow that guy, but um, he has been given access to the so-called culture. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't really care for this bad rap culture, but nevertheless, he's been given access to the culture. And, I'm always wary of people that get like these honorary invites to the cookout. Now, when I say these honorary invites to the cookout, I guess what I'm saying is it's like, I do believe that we can all coexist and we can share culture, but just giving free reign access to the culture and legitimizing people, I don't necessarily get down with that per se. When you look at other cultures around the world, they're not going to let you appropriate their culture or whatever like that. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want to take on, as far as black people, like all the negative things that come with this bad rap culture. But nevertheless, he gets access to people in the culture. So when I think of the culture, it's not just like rap and hip hop. It's a style, hair, lingo, Ave, African American Vernacular English, formerly known as Ebonics. So when I say the culture, it's more than just music. It's a lot of things. It's the food, it's the comedy, it's all that stuff. And so when I see people like DJ Vlad, um, just giving like people going on this platform, legitimizing somebody, I'm not saying one-offs can't happen, but I feel like those interviews and those things should be, you know, I would say relegated more for people like other, content creators or hosts and stuff like that. We already have to compete so hard to achieve so little. And so I feel like, and I'm blaming y'all, okay? I'm blaming you guys because you do this all the time. You get somebody who gives off this little bit of swag, supposedly, and you guys want to like dub him or her as a knight. We've seen this over and over again with Justin Timberlake, right? Um, the Kelsey guy from football, Iggy Azalea, and all sorts of stuff like that. And then you're so surprised when microaggressions or when harm is caused to people who look like us. So DJ Vlad is under fire because he tried to harm um, a woman who looks like me, who's a professor at Princeton University. Don't ask me to remember her name because I don't. I think it was Morgan or something. I don't know. And he kept tagging Princeton. He kept trying, and I'm just sitting there thinking, like, she told him to butt out of black folks' business. That's what she said. She didn't threaten his family. She didn't threaten anything else. This dingling DJ Vlad tried to threaten her livelihood because she said get out of the business, and he got his feelings hurt, and then tried to come after her position. Now he's trying to walk it back because the so-called culture, um, well, I shouldn't say so-called culture, people who look like me are like, wait a second, we're sick of you. How dare you try to go get this woman in trouble at an esteemed university, Princeton University, because she told you to stay out of black folks' business. And this was in relationship to the Kendrick Lamar and Drake thing going on. I don't expect for everyone to understand the nuance of this so-called beef, but basically what you're seeing is, I'm going to take a segue for a second, is you're seeing the industry is like industry-wide indictment on Drake. Because what they're saying is, hey, you know what? We are really sick of you. You have appropriated culture. You're dropping N bombs everywhere. You like children. You know, you guys know where I'm going with that. You like young girls. Um, all that kind of stuff. And so what they're saying is, you don't even have like a signature, whatever it is, like group of people that rock with you. They're not American. Well, you're Canadian, which is a form of American, right? But like you're Canadian, you're not a Black American. You're trying to appropriate Black culture. He's like, you're from Toronto. Not that Toronto's bad, but you don't you come down here to try to get your bops and your money, and you know what I mean. So he's just kind of like, what are you doing? Just make a little bit of music so we can dance to it. But let's be clear, you are clearly not in or part of the culture. Um, and I know a lot of Canadians are going to be in their feelings, and they are allowed, because and the reason why I took a slight shot at Canadians, although I actually like Canadians quite a bit. But in this instance, and I know I'm getting off topic with the DJ Vlad thing, but in this instance, I want to make a point. They go out of their way to say, like, they go out of their way to, as I've heard, for especially those who look like me, but on the Canadian side, they talk about their how they're different, and how Black people need to do this, Black people need to do that. But I'm like, well, then stay out of our business, because we got all kinds of problems anyway. But I'm just kind of like, you don't have the same experience, so stop speaking on an experience that you don't know anything about. You get out there on these podcasts, and they just yip yap, because most of them, their experience is more aligned with where their family came from. So they might be Haitian, they might be Jamaican, or whatever. So they're Jamaican Canadian or something like that. They're not Black Americans. They're not. I'm not saying they're not Black people. Let's be clear. But the experience you get as a Black person in America is going to be different if you are Nigerian. I definitely, like, when Nigerians start speaking, I tune them out because they don't know what they're talking about. They haven't. I'm talking about the ones that come here and then they're like, I don't. I'm like, they haven't gotten their wake up card yet. So getting back to DJ Vlad thing, when you sit there and you take and rob from the culture, and let me just say this: I can't even say that he's robbed from the culture, because I feel like people have freely given it to him. And then they are always so surprised when people turn around and want to inflict harm, and they don't try to atone for it. We saw what happened with the Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson scenario. He takes from the culture and then tried to make it seem like he was so innocent. He was the biggest little bitch. I was like, get out of here with that. I look at Kelsey when he wanted to appeal to, I'm going to say, America in quotes. What is the first thing he did? He grew out one of those little nasty beards. I don't know why men of all races want to grow a really big beard. It is so disgusting and gross to me. I'm like, don't get near me with that thing, because I don't know what's living in that. But anyway, he knows that, okay, if I got to attract a certain type of person, I have to get rid of the so-called swaggy haircut. No more trying to Dougie on the field, because I'm just so cool in this skin, Dougieing, whatever. But he realized I need to grow out my beard, and there's certain things you do to change your aesthetic. I just feel like when you do these things and you allow people access to the culture, and then you're surprised when they try to cause harm. So when Drake was making some of these comments in his songs, I mean, I don't expect everybody to get exactly what was going on, right? Because I feel like many people are not even trying to engage in any sort of critical thinking anyway. They just take everything at surface value, probably because it's safer or more comfortable. But I was just like, what are you talking about? Drake is a whole clown, That's how I felt about, like, I like a couple of songs here and there from other people. Like, I feel like if you're going to make music, make music. But I feel like also within the culture per se, especially, I'm going to call it the rap portion. The rap portion, or the music portion of the culture, I feel like we have given people license to call people N bombs and hoes and stuff like that. Look at what J Lo and what's the guy? I can see his face and I always forget his name. Is it Big Pun? No, Big Pun. Is he the black guy? I can't keep up. Fat Joe? Is that who it is? Anyway, so they think that they're okay. Well, I'm Puerto Rican. I'm like, Puerto Ricans are not black. They have some black ancestry, and you have black Puerto Ricans, but they are predominantly white. So, anyway, the point I'm making is they think it's okay to walk around, steal from the culture, calling people these names, and we're stupid enough to continue to let people do it. We do it. And then we get mad when they want to cause harm. So now DJ Vlad thinks it's okay to try to cause harm to this woman who is, you know, a professor at the university. Is so uncool. Uncool. And now he wants to walk it back and apologize. People, I wonder if people are still going on this stupid platform. I'm like, stop going on these platforms. It's like we're so, I feel like black people in general are just so desperate for attention. Oh my gosh. I feel like they're just so desperate. Anyway, that's where I stand with the whole DJ Vlad thing. He is a total dingling. He's going to sit there and go after a woman and try to go after her livelihood. What are you doing? She said, stay out of black folks' business. And he went and tried to tag Princeton University, and this is the shenanigans. And now he realizes that everybody's coming for him. And he was just like, oh, after reflection, I just want to apologize. Did you tag Princeton when you did that? You tagged her, but you didn't tag Princeton. You missed me. I wonder how many dumb people are going to fall for that. I would not be entertaining DJ Vlad. Anyway, let me just say this. At the end of the day, which is going to sound like, why are you even talking? Because I want to. I'm not really into rap culture. I mean, it doesn't mean that we're not aware of some things. Most of what goes on in rap culture, I am blissfully unaware. I don't think I can dedicate mental cycles to it because I just don't. I bore myself, I guess. I don't know. But some things you're like, wait a second. You got a lot of us turning around looking like, what is going on? I don't even think my husband knows what's going on. He's too busy doing other things. But a lot of us are like, this is too much. Like, pipe down, Drake. Pipe down, Canadian man. All right. So I got that off my chest, and I'm sure people are going to be mad because I said Canadian man. But I do like the Canadians. I just kind of feel like don't start trying to appropriate things that you don't know anything about. Just because you made friends with a couple people and you can drop N bombs, which I really wish they would stop doing that. We've basically given people the free license to call women who look like me bees and hoes and other black people ninjas. And then you get mad when they get comfortable and then they say and do things that are harmful, that are offensive. But we need to stop giving people free access. All right.